Well, at this point, there's been numerous executive orders signed by President Donald Trump, but this week, Congressman Steve Cohen decided to hold a town hall wanting to address how Memphians were feeling about how those policies are affecting our community here. It was a great turnout. He held it at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church. Over 100, maybe 200, hundreds of people. You can see very diverse there. Lots of people, lots of different backgrounds, and people stepped up to the plate. They were ready to come to the mic and really voice their concerns. From tariffs to Elon Musk, the war in Gaza. People, Memphians particularly, seem to be really staying informed since the Trump administration. And Cohen was there, clearly, helping them give advice on taking legal action and filing suits and just in order to make change. So we're going to play a clip from one of the Memphians who did go up and take the mic and hear what Cohen had to say.
What can we do to actually make a difference right now?
There are union attorneys. There are other attorneys who are bringing actions to courts, and that's been the main defense to stop some of what Trump's trying to do.
All right, so I want to start off with Sam this time. Sam, what did you just think about the initial turnout of the crowd and what this says about Memphians?
I mean, I think it just says that what is happening at the federal level is affecting a lot of lives, right? And so people are angry, people are upset. They are, if you look at polling data across the country, we don't have any local polling data, but you look at polling data across the country, many Republicans think this is great. Independents, not so much. Democrats think the sky is falling, right? And so that's where we are, and I think it was very clear in the turnout at Congressman Cohen's town hall.
Seems like Cohen kind of acted with a sense of urgency. Otis, what do you think about just his focus and priority of addressing Memphians about what is happening with this political climate?
Well, I think it was all probably pretty strategic to hold this town hall. It was before a friendly crowd, let's just say that. These were mostly Democrats, even though it was a very diverse group. But Congressman Cohen didn't get a lot of pushback. I think there was one person who took him to task, I think on one issue, and said that he didn't get a satisfactory answer and he's not going to support him anymore. But that was very rare. This was a pro-Cohen crowd here. And I don't blame him for doing this. I mean, he's showing a contrast here between what Democrats are doing, going out and talking to the public in a broad way, whereas Republicans, and we talk about one in a minute, who were sort of running and hiding here and only talking to very friendly, very closed crowds. So I think this was a strategic move by Cohen to show a contrast between what Democrats and Republicans are doing.
I absolutely agree, and I think he's known to do that. I mean, Congressman Cohen doesn't run from an issue. He'll be out in the community. He'll loves to talk to his constituents. So this is a good thing. I guess what I want to hear, though, is now that you've talked to the constituents, what can you do? You don't have the votes in the Congress. Your advice to your constituents is to make those phone calls to the senators to try and move them. We're not really their base, so are they going to move? So what really can he do? And I guess that's what most people want to know.
Definitely. Right. And on the other side of the aisle, David Kustoff, Congressman David Kustoff, Republican from Germantown, had a very weird situation going on with his event that was planned for tomorrow at the Our Lady of Perpetual Help Catholic Church. And it was a flyer that went around social media. It seemed to gain traction at first. This is it right here. We thought, or everyone thought, that it was open to the public. You could see it at the bottom. This is open to all. Please join us. But then they walked that back once they saw the attention it was getting. It was making rounds on social media. And now it's closed off to, I believe, the church parishioners only. And it's Saturday tomorrow morning. There is a Collierville Democratic Club that has promised to show up anyway and protest. Otis, I'll start with you, since you mentioned it first.
I did.
Quite a different experience than Cohen.
Very much so. And again, if we take this on a Friday, it's on Saturday. This is, to me, again, par for the course where Republicans are right now. They don't want to go before a broad crowd. Congressman Kustoff has been touting the last several days, speaking at the State Chamber of Commerce, speaking at the Haywood County Chamber of Commerce. He was at Briarcrest Christian School, and he did this event yesterday, meaning Saturday. He is not going to be going to wide open crowds like Cohen did. And I called, or I sent an email to his press secretary. Her name is Samantha Cantrell. And I asked her on Friday, how many town halls has he done since January? And does he plan to do, if he hasn't done any, does he plan to do any? And I got crickets on it. So that ought to tell you what you need to know about where this congressman is. He's just part of the other Republicans in Congress and in the U.S. Congress who are not interested in a lot of town halls.
Well, I just think that people should come out and they should ask him the tough questions. He was elected. He's being paid to represent us, so they need to ask him the tough questions. And Republicans are hurting based on the decisions that are being made by the current administration. Veterans, right? Teachers. They're Republicans too. They voted for Trump. They voted for Congressman Kustoff. So he deserves to allow them to listen to their concerns. And he can talk to the president and say, there's a different way of doing this. Stop. Let's evaluate. If you want to reduce, let's do it the right way. Step up. Don't be a coward, because this is cowardly, quite frankly. Yeah.
Oh, Deidre, okay. And Sam, as a journalist, when you see it go from open to the public to then closed, how does that read to you that they would want to kind of limit the access?
It's not surprising given the climate of the country, given that, you know, it's very easy for Congressman Cohen to face a very friendly crowd. It's probably not very easy to face a hostile crowd, right? And at the same time, like we talk about the energy that's swirling right now in this country, like looking forward, midterms are next year. Historically, the president's party has not done well during the midterms. Like, president would say that. The question I have is, from both town halls, partisans on both sides feel very clearly in their ways right now. What does the middle feel, and how is the middle going to feel in a year? Because I think that's really what matters right now. And will the middle really care that David Kustoff didn't talk to them in, you know, what is it, March of 25? We'll see.
Well, and David Kustoff's in a very safe
safe.
district. So he can go to parts of Northwest Tennessee and he'll be fine. He can go to the Chamber of Commerce in Haywood County and Lauderdale County, and he'll be fine there. But again, to Deidre's point, you were elected to come out and talk to the public. And that includes your constituents who may not have voted for you. And that's what he is not doing here.
And the rural community that he represents. You have farmers that are going to be affected by some of the decisions that are being made. You are accountable to them.
Yeah.
You need to have a conversation with them.
Exactly.
Okay.